This video is going to look at solving literal equations for a specific variable. Literal equations just mean that there are multiple variables in the equation and you want to isolate the variable for isolate the equation for one of those variables. Let's look at A. This is the equation for distance equals rate times time. And I know in the original equation that multiplication sign isn't there, but I like to use the multiplication sign when I rewrite it because then I can see like, oh, the inverse operation then to get t by itself would be to divide both sides by r. That would then give me t equals d over r. And that's what we mean by solving for t in terms of the other variable. That t is by itself and it's equal to a right-hand side with the other variables in it. Let's look at 3x plus 2y equals 6. This equation has three separate terms, 3x, 2y, and 6, none of which are like terms. So this would be the most simplified version of this equation. It is also what is known as a linear equation with two variables where there's a relationship between x and y. We want to solve this for y, and I want you to think about this 2 as still being connected, so that's not going to be the piece we work with first. Notice 3x and 2y are separated with addition, so the inverse operation would be subtraction. Since 3x and 6 we already said are not like terms, I cannot combine them on this right-hand side. I'm left with negative 3x plus 6. Just like before, I might even put a little multiplication between those to indicate, oh, I need to then do inverse operation between 2 times y to get rid of my 2. I do that by dividing all terms or both sides by 2. Negative 3 over 2 stays with my x, but 6 can be divided by 2 and simplify to 3. Note that this is the same as writing the equation with the negative 3x in the top and then the 2 in the bottom. That's because this is x over 1, and so you can write it either way, and that is totally fine to do. All right, let's look at our last equation here. I have the area is equal to 1/2 some height, and then it looks like I have maybe 2 bases, a big B and a little b. I want to solve this for big B. Now in this case, I'm going to use these parentheses to be like, I'm grouped here with big B plus little b. And there's a multiplication between 1/2 h and those parentheses. So the inverse operation I'm going to choose to do first is to divide both sides by 1/2 h. Now dividing by 1/2 is the same thing as multiplying by 2. I'll say that one more time. Dividing by 1/2 is the same thing as multiplying by 2. That means my left-hand side, I end up getting 2a over h is equal to big B plus little b. Then if I'm wanting to isolate big B, I can subtract little b on both sides, and I get that big B is equal to 2a over h minus little b. And that is my equation rewritten in terms of a, h, and little b solved for big B.